everybody. Hi. It's May the 8th now. My goodness. How time flies since I've been to Florida visiting with Dr. Morse and all of those beautiful, like-minded people in one place down in Punta Gorda, Florida, down at the International School. Oh, where's my little booklet? My International School of Regenerative Detoxification, and I'm very excited to say that I am officially a detoxification specialist. So a specialist in regenerative detoxification, alkaline health coach. Definitely not an iridologist yet. I'm going to move up and upgrade. Going back to Florida in July actually to do some more upgrading on level 1, some more hands-on kind of intensive of a protocol. And alkaline kind of culinary catering as well. So I am making so much amazing raw food right now that my friends, my partner, they all say, oh my God, you should be doing this as a business. So you are really making some great food, and it's so tasty, and it's raw, and it's fresh, it's alive, it's better than anything they've ever had. And I go to the Jewish Community Center, to work out with my salt water, my pool, just getting myself more alkaline, getting my lymphatic system moving. The steam room is really important because I don't sweat, so I'm going in there and sweating. But the salt waters and in the swimming pool and in the hot tub have been really, really supportive, and meeting a lot of great people there. Yeah, so I bring a lot of food and treats to the members events over at the Jewish Community Center, and they're loving it. They want me to be the official kind of raw vegan, kind of caterer to those events. And I think I'm kind of ready to kind of branch out of the house. I know I'm being more of a raw chef at home, but I could definitely branch out, fill up some business cards and put them out and get people to appreciate really good raw foods for their own parties, and maybe consider me, right? So it's not a bad idea. I'm going out there. The experience there was amazing. I brought my wife, I brought my mother-in-law, because as you know, she has no gallbladder. Those goddamn surgeons pulling out organs that Mother Nature gave you for a very good reason. So she had hers basically taken out, harvested, I can say, as Dr. Morse would say, harvested. Our organs are being harvested daily by the allopathic community. But she had hers removed about 6 years ago, and didn't change a thing about her diet. She looked horrible over the last couple of years, still getting really, really dry. Like she just looks like she's 90, and she's like only 72 this year. Oh my God, and bloated, and every year just getting more and more and more. So we were in Florida together in the same kind of apartment bungalow, and we were surviving on fruit, raw fruit and veg. She wanted her vegetable. My God, we went to the farmer's market the first day, and she wanted this giant head of cabbage. Like, we're not in Russia anymore. We're not starving in the winter time anymore. You don't need comfort food in this heat. It's a delightful 30-degree weather, like 25 to 30 degrees Celsius every day, sun, not humid, just beautiful. Although she sweats like non-stop, profusely. And that's just due to her own disease. Her thyroid, her parathyroid, her adrenals, like everything is just so in turmoil and stagnated that she's constantly profusely sweating, like from head to toe. And she felt that she needed to have the AC on inside the bungalow on a beautiful day. Like kept on turning the AC off and opening up the windows and the sunroom and the front door and like let the heat in, let the love in, let the sun in. You know, the bright light, the nature, the flowers. Don't coop yourself up in this dark, cold storage room, you know, which she created a fridge every time while we were not at home. That's just from her illness. It's all from her gallbladder being removed. It's all from her diet. And she hasn't changed a thing at all about her diet. She came to Florida. We're on fruits. She had to have her coleslaw, but at least it wasn't cooked. She was on mango. She was on my Alka tea. I gave her Alka tea once in the morning. She had them in the evening as well. She liked the taste because it was very flavorless and mild, and she was up all night the first night and cranky and angry and like, what are you trying to kill me? And she was seriously actually telling us she was going to die because we were killing her with this abnormal food, this abnormal diet. Just a load of hooey, like just all this. I mean, the emotions came up in her, all this programming that was resisting the wonderful things that were going to happen. Of course, healing crisis, and we told her that was going to come. And for her, it happened like, bam, right away. We were only there for 6 days, but first night, next morning, she's still awake, and Laura, you know, her daughter, like angry at her for not accepting how well she's going to feel, and you know, why does she need a whole night table full of medications? Does she want to live on those toxic drugs and big pharma for the rest of her life? Are those making her feel better? Like, you know, she's kind of, and I pulled her out of the room and I said, you know, you've got to treat this with kindness and love and nurturing. You know, this is going to be very emotional for a woman of 72. So I came back in with a cup of Alka tea and a nice bowl of chopped up mango and a little bowl of strawberries that we had picked up from the market. So she grabbed me by the arm and she said, thank you. Thank you. And I think thank you for the whole understanding what she's feeling. I know I went through it. Understanding what she's going through. And also, you know, attracting, you know, bees with honey is really important because you're going to get more reception, you're going to get more openness. And my mother-in-law felt that this is what she needed and I was giving it to her, and she responded very positively. So the next few days were fruit, you know, the occasional salad for her. I was having a grand old time over at the conference center learning, you know, pounding my head full of information and loving people and loving the friends I knew, friends that I was making, and the fruit that they were selling there, this came right off the fruit or like trees and the fruit farm down the road. So they were like piling on new fruit like 3 times a day, whatever was coming off the tree. It was just incredible. So while I was away, she was having what Laura was allowing her. I made sure she had kind of a close eye on what she was eating. And there was really no way to cheat. I mean, my mother-in-law doesn't speak a word of English, but there were no grocery stores in the area, which is great. We were like on a harbor, like right on the water, but it was mostly like a leisure, like recreation area that we were living in. So there was really nowhere for her to shop. It was kind of under her control, but she was doing great. She was doing great. And third day or fourth day, I was still at the conference, but I was told later on that she purged massively. She could not get off the toilet all day long, and she was rushing to the toilet. And it wasn't the fruit, because she was having very, very tiny meals. But she literally had to rush to the toilet, you know, 3-4 times in a 2-hour stretch. And by the end, like, she was just like, what are you doing to me? You're killing me. Oh my God. And I'm telling you, she was starting to look better. She stopped sweating so bad. Number one. And number two, it was as like all of this literally like congestion, this plaque, mucoid plaque, I think it was, that was stuck in her GI tract, was literally being sloughed off that quickly. Like her body was so grateful that you're actually doing this and you're taking it seriously, and it's more than 48 hours later, and your body, her body must have been so excited that it just started to release it, and it went out. I mean, it was good. I swear she even looked um, thinner, like less bloated. So that stuff was inside her all these years, like this plaque and this mucus buildup was exactly what Dr. Morris was saying, all the effects of acidosis. And in her case, it was the mucus response, the plaque response that was responding to the foods and that she was eating. And the body was not happy with, and all the acids building up and all the negative responses to the food. Her body was fighting back and building up all these buffering systems, and it was just sloughed right out. It was amazing. Like the body was really tricked into thinking this is actually going to be a full-time way of living, and that she's going to start looking after her body, her temple. But come back to Toronto, and she went back to eating the same old crap. It's like what you always hear about. Even when Dr. Morris has his own family member issues with not embracing how food really changes you. Your body creates health or it creates disease. And you can't get emotionally wrapped up in that. So you can show people the way, but you can't take them all the way there. They've got to have their own understanding and their own awareness, and they come into their awareness and they can start building up their body and building up their spirit, building up their consciousness and their spirit. There's nothing you can do but just show them the way. So it is what it is, and I've done the same things in Toronto. I've pointed people in the right direction. And I have a success story, finally. I cannot always talk about negatives, but I have an amazing success story with a great friend of mine, an old friend, who I gave the PPI protocol, the weaning off the PPI protocol. We all know the proton pump inhibitor medication that I was on when I had been symptomatic with the tumor in my stomach. And I've been on it for 7 months, so a really, really long time, from my GP, who had given me like 2 or 3 varieties, and then my radiologist gave me another type of a PPI, and I was on it for 7 months. And I literally was a junkie on it because I could not survive without it. It would just be, there's just too much acid build up in my stomach and a lot of pain from anything that I ate. So I gave the protocol to my friend before Christmas. It was around Thanksgiving, and I gave her I bought her a bottle of Alkapure pH. You remember the Alkapure pH, the very natural, the Pure Lab vitamin brand, Alkapure. It's just really about a couple of sodiums in there, and it fights acid reflux and hyperacidity in the body, but very, very naturally. So weaning off from a PPI to the Alkapure pH capsule, and then weaning off the Alkapure altogether, which I have. So I gave it to her a really long time ago. Then I met her around after Christmas, after the holidays. She said she had some very negative effects to the transition, and of course it was a holiday, so she was eating badly. So she was putting it off and saying that it didn't work. I'm like, another one bites the dust. I tried. With my brother-in-law, I've given up on him because he doesn't have the strength and the will and the self-discipline to even get off of his PPI either, and he's just turned 60, and Oh, I made some excuses. He thought I couldn't read the instructions. I don't have the time. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear about it. But with this girlfriend, she actually tried it again. We saw her on the weekend. We went to the Art Gallery of Ontario for like a fun day. But she was so understanding that I did not have ability to go out to brunch, with all my strict fruit eating. She told me later on in the day at the art gallery that she's all for PPI and it worked for her and she's never been happier. She did change her diet. She's changed her lifestyle a lot more. She's trying to stick true. Her husband, of course, does not eat well, and he smokes cigarettes. And she's really having a hard time with that. But what can she do? And she's off the drugs, and now she's even just taking a little bit of Alka-Pure pH. She can wean herself off that too. I'm so happy. Like, why didn't you tell me that sooner? Like on a text or phone call. Like, I would have been like so happy. It would have made my entire month. Seriously, guys. So there's a positive story for you. It works. It's tried. It's true. You can get off the drugs. You can stop paying into big pharma who are making billions and billions of dollars off of us. You can stop going to the medical community for your troubles, unless you have a major trauma or surgery. You don't need chemistry to control your chemistry. It just makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It's a fallacy. Chemistry cannot control chemistry, and it's always acid-based. So you're putting in chemistry that's acid in your body where you already have an acidosis-based disease, and things are just getting worse. You just feel like it's being suppressed or masked, but you're actually still getting those symptoms. You just can't feel them. So it's a dangerous path to go down, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I am living proof, and so is my friend now, that you can get off the drugs and never go back to them again, which I am done. I don't even take supplements anymore. I mean, my tinctures and my grape juice I have. Oh shoot, I was going to show you this grape juice that I bought yesterday. I do take, and one supplement from the Pure Lab vitamins, it's NADH glucoquinol. It's really just to take out any residual chemo that might be left somewhere in my bloodstream. So I'm taking that very, very temporarily. And I've given my wife some Pure Lab magnesium. Hold on, I'm going to just show that to you. To help her with her restless leg syndrome, which is helping her a lot, even though last night she kept me up with her snoring. And that's why you see the little pouches under my eyes. I've given her that. Same brand, same company that puts out the Alka-Pure pH. And, the NADH, the quinol that I'm taking, very minimally, like it's just until I finish this bottle. It's very small to get rid of the residual chemo. But last Monday, I've been going to farmers markets now that they're finally opening up in Toronto. And this is an indoor-outdoor market. And I found one vendor who wasn't there the last few weeks who makes unpasteurized grape juice. He pressed them himself. He got Concord grapes, he got wine grapes, he got a little bit of apples, like they were Ida Red, alkaline apples, and he turned it into this unpasteurized grape juice, which I'm loving. So I bought 2 bottles because you can't keep them for too long. And he was just this very fun, off-the-grid kind of guy who I forage in the forest, I pick up wild leeks and mushrooms and whatever's in season, and then I'm foraging on the grapevines and apples off the tree. And he was just a great guy. He's got a farm or cottage, family cottage up north in Ontario, but he also has a little homestead down in Guatemala, South America. Very nice. So I really want to connect with him again. So I'm drinking that grape juice every morning now with my tinctures in them. Having some beautiful grapes. These are the ones I could find more recently, and they're small and delicious. As dark as they can get. I mean, I do have some black grapes at the bottom, but right now we have some dark reds. And some globes. I have some globe grapes here at the bottom too. They're massive. And they have seeds, so I do crunch them up. Make them even more astringent. And I always still have a few more black grapes in there. So I put a little variety in there, but right now it's mostly red. So I'm eating that throughout the day. Oh, gosh, my nose. It's like, I feel a little strain in my nose sometimes. A little puffiness on my left side. You can see that. Probably from the lack of sleep. I'm going to talk to that woman again tonight because I had planned to make this video last night and I was really excited about it. Now I'm exhausted. Anyway, still back on my journey and I'm loving it. Coming back to Toronto after Florida was amazing. I really wanted to bring so much of this knowledge back to my friends and my family and turn it into my new practice now that I'm no longer working at my other job. It gives me a lot of freedom to start that up. I restarted going to my my acupuncturist. Yes, I still go to him twice a week. He's amazing. And I restarted with a craniosacralist that I've been going to for like 15 years. And she's awesome. So I just want a little more lymphatic work, a little more lymphatic massage, a little more like clearing up the spinal fluids, right? So just the work that she's done, that she does has also been recommended by Dr. Morse at the class that I was at. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I guess I should go back to her, and we still have some benefits that cover her costs. So not through craniosacralist, but since she's a registered massage therapist as well, we can get it through that benefit. GP, I went to my GP, like I go every few months just to give him a tutorial. It's really fun. He's a very young guy and I love him, and he's been very open to all kinds of learning. He has been amazed. He saw me last week, amazed with my progress. I mean, yes, he said, look at your weight, but your color looks so good, you're bright, your eyes, no problem. He looked at my tongue. Still healing down the stomach line there. He doesn't know much about that, but he knows the color of it. It's very good. Look at my throat, look at my BP, look at my fingertips, both arms. And BP, by the way, guys, Dr. Morse was a little concerned when he saw me. He thought I had a right kidney filtration issue. But right now, actually my BP, which is adrenal reading, and then renal, is 102/60 and 104/64. So you know that optimal BP for healing and actual optimal health is 120/60. So already my left side is perfect in the kidney area. My right side is a little overactive in the kidney. My adrenals are low. They're at 102 and 104. But I'm so excited that actually my kidneys are not the issue. It's my adrenals. It's probably a little bit of malabsorption in my small intestines. So I'm definitely going to work on that through acupuncture, through the craniosacral as well. So happy. You know, I am thin in weight, you know, 85, 87 pounds, like roughly. I've been on the lower end. And he didn't really think that was a big concern because he knew that I'm still going through a lot of regeneration stage right now. maybe a little bit more of a detox, and so thinness is part of it. But if the people in our family who are talking about me being too thin all the time is it's kind of getting to me in a sense. Like nobody comes up to you and say you look too fat, you look really puffy, you look really unhealthy, you look like you're like a bright as a cherry. Like that is a bad sign. You're sweating like 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 a pig in heat. You're just like, okay, no one talks to people like that. But it's okay to say to a person that they're really, really thin, that you look unhealthy, you're not eating enough. Um, look how bony you are. Like it's amazing how the society is okay with people who are obese and bright red and puffy and sweaty and they look like they're about to burst with the unhealthiness and whatever is like building up inside their gut and putrefying and dying inside of them. Like that's what what obesity is. No one tells them that, but it seems to be okay to talk about thinness. It's almost like people think being obese, or overweight, or chubby, or chunky is cute or healthy. It's a status symbol. It's like, it's ridiculous. So societally, we have a long way to go, people. Like I know I'm not supposed to be 87 pounds, but I know that I was never supposed to be 120, which is my highest weight, at a frame of 5'3". I was definitely overweight, and nobody told me then. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's like when I was working with my friend, and she has these two girls, and they're 7 and 13. 13-year-old just turned 13 actually. Started getting her period for the first time. Now she is the one with the lactose intolerance, and not just lactose intolerance, but you're not supposed to be eating dairy and cheese, anyways. But her body was definitely had an immediate reaction to the mucus. So she was getting colds all the time, and I mean, like her mother was buying her dairy. The entire family was just hooked on unhealthy animal proteins and dairy and grains. So she had a drawer full of dairy in the fridge. I was always pushing it off and buying dairy-free cheeses, dairy-free yogurt, dairy-free sour creams and butter, so that at least they could try something dairy-free that tastes the same, make a transition, and then off of it altogether. And then suddenly she gets her period, and things got worse. And now you've got more involvement from other glandular interactions with the dairy. And she started getting puffy. She started like looking, and her stomach was overflowing over her waistband. This was a pretty active young girl, and now this is what we saw. Her mother didn't see this, but I was like, what the hell? And I said, well, let's go on a shopping trip when I get back from Florida. I'll take it to the health food stores near you that are close, you can go anytime, and have a really amazing selection of dairy-free cheeses. Oh yeah, let's have fun. I'm like, well, let's have fun, but we'll also help transition your daughter because she's ill. Oh, by the way, she also has warts on her skin. She cannot get off the toilet. She has very bad GI issues, diarrhea. And her mother just gives her lactate tablets. Like, that is not helping her. That is not healing her disease from the inside out. That is just masking and suppressing and repressing the symptoms. So, I don't know. We went there, and she actually didn't even bring the right daughter. She brought the 7-year-old who already likes fruit. She was eating my fruit constantly, and she was the easiest one to sort of convert. I'm like, where is she? She's the one who's going to be making the pick, of all the dairy-free brie and the dairy-free other things that she enjoys, in the dairy variety. But now she can have them here, and there's such great variety that she was going to make the pick. She didn't bring the correct daughter. Okay. Then I looked at her a couple of times, and I looked her straight in the face, and I said, focus. stay focused. We're gonna go here, have fun, but we're staying focused on produce, raw fruits and veg, the bulk food section, and the dairy-free section, okay? And so I drive her out there. The three of us are having fun picking out the great fruit, nice veg, and bulk. She didn't want anything from bulk, but I did. I wanted some macadamia pine nuts because I'm making some dairy-free stuff here for the JCC events, as I was telling you earlier. And then she's looking in the dairy cooler, like, okay, well, this is where we're looking at, right? Dairy-free sour cream, and there's another section way over there where they have the dairy-free cheeses. I want to take you to those aisles. And here's the dairy-free milks. You know, they really love that. They really love the chocolate almond milk that I brought them. Why don't you get some of those? Next thing, they're just pulling out 2 containers of lactose-free cream cheese, like, which she buys all the time around the corner. And like, okay, well, you can't put that in your basket. We're going to the other sections, remember? And then you can't put that in my car. You know, I'm a raw, never mind, vegan, but I'm also a raw vegan. And this is my vegan home, and also my car is also part of my home. You know, I spend a lot of time in it. And Laura is also the driver of that car and the owner of this home, and we both do not invite animal products to our home and in our car. And she's like, what? And I, how can you do this? It says, you know, it was supposed to be a fun day. This is really crazy, and I can't believe you're being so political about this. I'm like, I'm not being political about it. I asked you to stay focused. This is what we're doing. We're trying to have a fun time, an adventure in dairy-free, a dairy-free adventure. Yes, that was the fun part of it, that I was going to introduce you to something that you've never had. And for your daughter's safety, her health, all of your sake. And please, you know, like, you can get this some other time, but you can't take this into my car. And she was literally crying. She was like, she had tears in her eyes, like I was, like, that I was stabbing her children to death or something, like, and but you can't stop me from buying cream cheese for my children. I'm like, I'm not stopping you from buying cream cheese, you know, for your children. Like it's the last food item on earth that they're gonna starve to death. It's really weird. It was just like, it's just not now. You can't buy this here and now and not with me in my car. And she's like, I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go check out. She literally would have preferred to check out her groceries and get into an Uber than to put the lactose-free cream cheese back and take a look at what her daughter could have had. You know, in terms of dairy-free brie, dairy-free red rind, they had dairy-free blue cheese, dairy-free of everything. And I'm like, holy shit! Okay, that's fine. But I'm not going to go back on what what this whole shopping trip was about, and certainly not going to put those items into my car. So I was kind of just like taken aback. I was like, what the fuck, you know? And this is a good old friend of mine. I had no idea that she had such an addiction to food, and she was programming, obviously, her kids to eat the same way, but that she would not be open to an adventure and trying something healthy for herself and her kids, and just be a role model for them. Rather have taken an Uber than put it back. It was bizarre. Anyway, I let her go, and I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, remember, this is all about you. You're making me take an Uber, and I had to pay $15 for it. Like, I'll pay you for your Uber, okay? Like, well, I can't believe you're being so political. This is not politics. I'm eating this way because of health reasons and ethical reasons, but primarily health reasons. And so I brought you is for health reasons. You know, and it's nothing to do with politics, and nothing to do with being militant or trying to convert anybody. Okay, it was just really about trying something new, an adventure for you guys, and this is where you guys can go and shop. What's not fair? There's no vegan grocery. Why are you taking me to a place that's not all vegan? I'm like, well, all vegan groceries don't exist. So what can I tell you? And Toronto has a long way to go. And you know, there was one little tiny vegan grocery, but it's more in my area than her area, and I wanted her to feel it was convenient for her. And it's just too small anyways. It's not exactly a vegan grocery because it's too small in the produce side. It's not well stocked. But you know, like it's not a good argument to say that that as my fault for taking her to a store that was not completely vegan. Anyway, I can't help people. I can just show them the way and lead by example. And you know, all this time that I've left there working for her, they've been complaining that they miss my cooking. So I've done something right. Anyway, things with my GP were amazing. My color is good. I'm feeling better. My iron, by the way, he was mostly concerned about my ferritin. My iron was right smack in the middle of normal. So there's the normal beginning, and then the range. I'm right smack in the middle. Like, guys, you don't have to eat meat and legumes and proteins from bad acidic foods to get iron. There you go. I'm living proof that he was proven wrong. Iron is in your fruit. It's in your fruit. It's in your dark leafy greens, but it's definitely in your fruit as well. Because I'm not eating a lot of dark leafy greens. Anyway, kidney levels were amazing. My creatinine is 52. My EGFR is 110. Blood sugar is perfect. Lymphocytes was the one highlight that they made with a concern. That they should have between 1 and 2.9 lymphocytes per liter, and I have 0.9. But you know, lymphocytes at 0.9 is better than having 0 lymphocytes per liter, which is what the chemo and radiation and the oral chemo tablets and medication was doing to me. So 0.9 per liter, I'll take it. I'm so happy that my lymphocytes are up, that my lymph is moving, and my actual the actual colors of the dead cells and dead waste are active in my lymphatic system. So lymphocytes, 0.9, I'll take it. I'm just ecstatic that they're back and working, and they're in there and in my bloodstream. So that was amazing. I had to share that with you about my GP appointment. Miles Nadal, the Jewish Community Center. I'm having great reactions, making great new connections there. I think I might start up my business from there as well, very slowly, as well as on Facebook, as well as through friends and neighbors and condo that I live in, and get my word out about who I am, and who knows. Spring market, we went to that this weekend on Sunday. The Toronto Vegetarian Association had a beautiful spring market, and happened to be the only day this week that was amazingly sunny. So it was a great day to go to that, indoors and sitting outdoors in the park and right outside the event, and getting a few ideas about I could have been a vendor at that spring market. I could have been the one selling these beautiful foods and spreads and sandwiches not on bread, and making triple the profits, because there were a couple of girls who were doing that. It's like, oh my Lord, it's like, you could have been those two girls, and your food was way tastier, so you could have charged a bit more. Yeah, you know what, that's a good idea for a business. One day I'll be a vendor at these these organized events, right? Anyways, Seders, we had Passover recently in late April. Had 2 Seders to go to. We had to bring our own food, of course, each one of them, which was fine. Brought some beautiful raw pizza the first night, some beautiful raw pasta the next night, and people are eating crap, I'm telling you. It was really hard to watch the kind of brown and yellow food. All the proteins mixed with starches. that they were eating, and like no color to their food, no reds, no greens, no orange, no purple, like something colorful, right? And they were all looking at our food like, what are you eating? What are you eating? Because all they're eating is like bland, overcooked, over roasted, over boiled, oily, and vinegary food, all acid vinegars, right? And then sweets that were so high in sugar and starch and fats and eggs, and we couldn't eat anything. And we had for dessert, luckily, our own fruit. Excuse me. And at the second Seder, we had there was a big food platter offered, which is very nice. But you know, we're eating till like 10, 11, 12 at night, and I really couldn't eat that much because it's just too late. We were home every night at midnight, 12:30 in the morning. It was just crazy how long these Seders can be, and like, you know, to keep on eating throughout the Seder. Like you start and you stop, and then you start again and you stop again. And that's just too much, and that was going on for 2 nights in a row, and it was just, I felt a little puffiness in my lips, you know, from having a bit of, I think I had a little bit of coleslaw and some nut-based sauces that I made. But just eating too late, I think that was an issue too. Anyways, celebrating last weekend too was at my sister-in-law's house because it was my mother-in-law's birthday. Oh, and she was over the anger. She was angry because I had sort of gone to her home and sort of hidden the 2 boxes of Triscuits and 1 box of matzahs that she had already bought when she came back from Florida. Like she's addicted to these things. It's a neurological, psychological illness. These food addictions, people. It's not even your body and your soul that's asking for it. It's your bug. Like whatever is your disease. You know, for me it was a tumor. It's asking for that unhealthy food. It's asking for it. It's turning it into what you think is just a craving. Like, oh yeah, you know, I just crave a little, you know, peanut butter today. That's not you wanting the peanut butter. It's whatever is ailing you is asking for it. So people try to connect to yourself and understand your body better, and you know, not just what your body is asking for, like the bad parts of your body that you want out of you, but think about what your good side of your body really needs. What's supposed to have, what it takes to survive and feel vital and alive and healthy and energized and hydrated. Like I said, you know, my mother-in-law is really old and dry looking. Like all that food that she's eating is dehydrating. It's pulling the water out of her. And I saw her again last weekend. She's dry, just cracking. I'm telling you, she's only 72, but she looks like she's 92. And even Laura and her daughter noticed it. I think, look at, you're dry. Yeah, all of the foods you're eating are pulling the hydration off your skin. And that's your greatest, you know, elimination organ, not just your kidneys and your GI tract. Your skin is your largest elimination organ. And if that's dry and cracked and wrinkled and creased, it's because of what you're eating. And it's just it's amazing to watch how true everything that I'm learning is. It's true, and I'm looking at people and I see what's going on in them. And I made some diagnoses in the locker room of the Jewish Community Center. People have complained about back problems when it was a kidney issue when you look at the location of their back problem. And one woman had a problem with her hip and her bones. And I said, yeah, she's like, the other woman is telling her to work out harder. And I, don't work out harder when you've got a bone and connective tissue issue. I said, what's going on with your thyroid and parathyroid? Because it's pulling calcium away from your bones. Oh, I'm getting that tested actually this weekend. And that's something I want to look at. Yeah, well, it's a good thing you're looking at it because that's the problem. That's the real concern. So you see how many misconceptions there are? Like people thinking that it's a back problem, they're gonna go to their chiropractor and an orthopedic surgeon or something. Like you have to look at what you're eating and what's happening to your kidney filtration. What's happening? What glands are weakened due to whatever it is you're eating. You know, that beautiful straw that I got, hand blown glass straw from a girl at the International School of Regenerative Detoxification. So nice. She lives in New Jersey and she just became friends and made a lot of new friends there. She gave me this straw for $3. Kind of pay what you can, and that's all I had at the time. $3, $3 American. It actually makes it more expensive for us because it's a $5 straw, Canadian. So that's what's happening. And I went to was a birthday party, like I said, for my mother-in-law last weekend, and we brought our own food. I brought a beautiful takeout container full of fruit salad from Longo's. So I brought my own fruit, but just in case. We checked out the Longo's, and they had a massive salad bar, and this fruit salad bar was huge and exotic. So I got all that fruit for my dinner, and they're looking at me what I'm eating, you know, and they're having their same, you know, brown and yellow and white food. Same proteins mixed with starches every time. Coleslaws mixed in vinegar. Like mushrooms mixed in vinegar. Beets mixed in vinegar. I mean, literally, I'm looking at their plates. I see brown, white, yellow, brown, white, yellow, brown, white, yellow. And that's all they ate. And dinner, for dessert, I made a raw cheesecake. I'm making a lot of beautiful raw cheesecakes lately. And don't even need a recipe anymore. Just make it straight up with what I know, and I modify it myself. I made a raw mocha cow cheesecake. So mocha, so it's a coffeeless coffee. It's not real coffee beans. It's cacao nibs, so mocha cow, and oh, so delicious. I made a beautiful mocha cow cheesecake. Nobody but myself and Laura touched, because they were eating grown-ups. I'm talking about almost 50-year-olds to 60 to 72-year-old people, grown adults and seniors, were having chocolate ice cream cake. Like a birthday party for 6-year-olds, they were having ice cream cake. Okay, and they wouldn't touch my raw, delicious, healthy cheesecake or fruit. Didn't see any fruit on their plates either. Laura and I just couldn't watch. We just couldn't believe the kind of meal they were having was what, you know, you'd have at a birthday party. You know, minus the chips and the Cheetos. But like what you'd have at a 6-year-old birthday party. This is the kind of food, junk food, that you would eat. The entire dinner was junk food. The entire dinner. And I'm not saying that it's not junk food. I'm saying it was real junk food. Crap. So hard to watch adults eat this way, especially if you know that each one of them had health issues. That one's on a PPI for for a herniated ulcer, and he has massive issues with his GI tract. She's got issues with her bone and connective tissue in her eyes. And this one has no gallbladder. That one has 4 stents in his heart, keeping his heart arteries open. It boggles the mind. The people I can't. The 17-year-old, this is my niece, still not changing her diet. In fact, she avoids me now. She doesn't want to talk to me, but she's become more of like a brat. Like, she wants like a lot of, when she's talking to me, she's sort of resentful or talks to me in a very nitpicky, negative, um, annoying kind of way. Like I was having a conversation with another young person at the Seder, and she interrupted my conversation with this 20-year-old girl, and she said, "I want the raspberry on your plate. Can I have it?" I'm like, "No, there's lots of raspberries over there in the other room, and in the food plate." "Yeah, but I like the raspberry because it looks better when it's on your plate." And I said, "Well, you know that I'm not living to eat, right? I'm eating to live. You know, food to me is really precious, and I look at it as a healthful thing to do." "Oh, okay, never mind, never mind." But the entire dinner she wouldn't talk to me, even though I was across the table from her. And so these are the kinds of reactions we're getting. They're very threatened or intimidated by how healthy we are, how great and vital we are feeling and looking and behaving. You know, that we're just no longer talking about it so much. We're just doing, you know, and living by example, you know, but it's sort of making people very uncomfortable and making them act in very strange, negative ways, and they almost feel like they have to come at us and attack us, and we're not there to threaten you or to take away your food. We're not standing there talking about it in judgment. You know, we're just eating and living and talking about it amongst ourselves as an example. That's it. And if we don't want to follow what we're doing and seeing the results that we're getting, that's fine. It's your life. So it's that's weird. It's really weird with Laura's family. My sister's no longer talking to me again. That's fine. But I mean, with her, you know, her love and understanding and her heart connection and her open-heartedness only goes a certain distance and then it stops. If she only has so much capacity for love and giving, so I completely understand it. It has nothing to do with me, and I'm not taking it personally. Although she is getting married this summer, and my father's coming this summer from Russia, our father, and he's gonna want to spend some time with the both of us. What am I forgetting to talk about? Yeah, I saw a beautiful concert. I saw Metric. I think I played it over one of my videos. The song that used to make me cry in tears of joy. The Breathing Underwater song. So we had amazing, amazing concert tickets. Like right in the front row, away from the ground area, but right in the front row as soon as you got to the seat level. And that was amazing. I did a lot of dancing, a lot of moving my lymphatic system, and just I was on my feet the whole time. And like nearly the third song, I think, right at the beginning, she played that song, my favorite. And then she started giving a very long speech about it, about, you know, we're talking about breathing underwater, really talking about surviving, but not just surviving, we're thriving. And then we're not just thriving, we're doing so well that we can actually breathe underwater. And I felt that she was like talking to me because this is a song that had such an impact on me all year. I'm driving around in the car and I'm like bawling my eyes out every time I played. And it made it very hard to drive because my eyes would get so blurry. And, you know, in a good way. And every time I'd hear it again and at home, I'd still get the same reaction. And then she was literally saying these words with such a empowering moment for me. I was like, you're speaking to my soul right now. It's exactly what I needed to hear from her. You know, the writer, the songwriter. You know, you brought this into my life not just because I'm surviving and thriving, but because now I have the capability to do what seemed humanly impossible, right? Breathing underwater, like who could do that? But going through Hellville and coming out the other side makes you just that powerful. It really does, you know, and it makes you feel like you could do anything, even if it means um, breathing underwater, which is, right? Incredible, so incredible this concert, and such an incredible experience to listen to them live and dance and move around. It was great. I've been doing a lot of sunbathing. I've been just loving the sun, standing out there. Like, I'm not burning. I have not had a sunburn. I'm standing in the sun for hours. I can stand out there for hours and not feel the effect. And one time I did have, I guess I came home from Florida with a little burn on my shoulders, which I didn't feel. I didn't feel anything, but when I came home and I was showering, I'd feel the skin peeling off. Like, oh, I didn't even know I had a burn. You know, like it was a tiny little shedding of skin there. I literally had no physical side effects to sunbathing. And you can be out there as long as you want, and Dr. Morris is right about that too. And again, you know, be happy, be comfortable with yourself, be comfortable with nature. I'm comfortable with my gardening, my get rich in my hands in the soil. Like, get those hands in the richness of that soil and planting those seeds and watching them grow. And orchids are coming out right now. My lilies, they're done now. My daisies, my strawberries, I'm planting they're not orchids, they're my gladiolas. My bulbs are coming through right now indoors. My basils, I got the herbs coming in. I bought a whole bunch of new seeds, and I'm planting sunflower, like the giant sunflower. I'm going to plant the cucumber around it. Apparently they need the same amount of water and sunlight, and also are really good paired together because they make the nutrients in the soil a lot richer when they're planted together. And the tall stalk of the sunflower will be great for the vine of the cucumber. So I'm going to plant them together. I've got seeds for radishes, for lettuce, for, of course, beefsteak tomatoes. I've got to ask that guy next Tuesday at the members breakfast at the JCC where he gets those tomatoes, because they're the only tomatoes I could actually eat without throwing up. It's amazing, because right now I cannot eat tomatoes, bananas. I can't eat standard bananas. I can eat little tropical bananas. And I cannot eat ginger, or certain foods just give me immediate reaction. Those are my top 3. So I'm going to ask about those tomatoes. Anyways, we're going to grow them here as well, as usual. Going to do our best. I've got a whole bunch of some like flowers that are going to attract bees and butterflies, and hopefully I don't have to pollinate my own vegetables and tomatoes this year. I got a whole bunch of things planned for my garden. So that is really empowering, that it's really connecting to nature and being alone with nature. Like, I never had a problem being alone, going out places alone, and be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable with your own body, be comfortable with exploring and discovering, and you know, raising your vibrations up a positive, higher level. And a lot of people, like I guess I've said, are very threatened by that. But you're going to start attracting the right kind of people. You're going to start attracting good, high vibration people who are already and are attracted by your high vibrations, you know, and I'm meeting a lot of new people like that because of the way that I am sending out those vibrations, the way I am living and being. So it's an amazing journey, guys, and I really am ready to take on questions as well. So don't hesitate to connect with me if you have any problems, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, if you have any issues around herbs, what herbs to take, what issues you'd be having connected to what area of your body, what organ in your body. I am ready to take on questions, and I'm going to be taking on clients as well here in Toronto. You can ask me questions about what my diet means, what is this grape cure, why am I on the grapes. I'm there for you guys, 100%. So I'm sharing my journey with you, and as you see, I have no more healing crises. I have no more itching. I have no more swelling, no more edema in my legs. When I'm in a really hot place, like in Florida, I had a little bit of tightness and swelling in my ankles, but nothing out of the ordinary. Like, well, since I got back, there have been no more healing crises, no more tightness, no more like, swelling, no more anything, and no more acidosis. So guys, I understand healing crises really, really well. I've experienced a lot of them. I've been through them and back, and I'm feeling great. So I'd love to hear about your journeys, and please send me any questions you have or any comments. I want to hear about your stories, and it would just make me so happy to know that you're out there. So please, anything you can ask or tell me, I'm here. I want to receive. I'll answer the best way that I can, and I'm loving all of you guys. I want to support you on your journeys too. I'm sure you are going through something. Anytime, I'm here for you. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.